Welcome everyone, my name is Limbic, and this is Heroes of the Storm. This is Blizzard's take on the MOBA genre, and for those of you who do not know what that is, that's the genre of League of Legends and Dota 2. Now if you've never played either of those games, I'll go ahead and explain the concept for you here. The game is basically tower defense. Each player has their core, and they have towers and walls protecting it. And it's the goal of each team to destroy the opposing team's core. If you do that, you win the game. Each team consists of 5 players who each control a hero. So here you can see I'm playing as Tassadar. Here's someone else playing a hero called Arthas. This is Asmodan. And as I mentioned, each team has 5 players and they all control different heroes. And each hero has their own abilities, their own attack values and defense values and attack speed, yada yada yada. They all operate completely differently and uniquely. So these minions will spawn at a constant rate, they'll fight each other with the assistance of the heroes. Your goal is to break down the towers and the walls and eventually get to the enemy's core and destroy it. So that's the basic gist of it. So what makes Heroes of the Storm different from other MOBAs if you've played them? Well, first of all, the maps. In other MOBAs, it's basically one map only. It's the 3-lane 5 versus 5 map. Other MOBAs have kind of tried different maps. You know, League of Legends had the Twisted Tree Line. They also had the Dominion map, which, you know, some people like, but most people think that it's definitely not any kind of serious competitive gameplay. Heroes of the Storm has lots of different maps, and they all have different objectives. So you can see this map here actually looks pretty similar to the normal 3-lane 5 versus 5, but there are some maps that only have 2 lanes, and some maps that have, you know, only 2 lanes, but a secret, kind of secret really, it's not that secret, but an entire underground layer, etc. But each map has its own objective. So the objective of this map is every once in a while a tribute will spawn somewhere on the map, and each team wants to collect the tribute. Once 3 tributes are collected, it will curse the enemy team, and when an enemy team is cursed, their turrets will not fire, and all of their minions will be reduced to 1 health, which means they die to anything. So it's a very important thing to get the curse on your enemy's team. You definitely do not want it on your team. And you know, as I mentioned, it's different for each map. So here you want to curse the enemy team. There's another map where you collect doubloons throughout the map and you turn it into this pirate. And once you collect enough doubloons, the pirate may turn his cannons onto the enemy team and use it to destroy their towers and their forts. So here you can see is a tribute. That's why both of the teams are fighting here over it, because we both really want this tribute in order to get that much closer to cursing the enemy team. Because of course, when the enemy team is cursed, it will be much easier to knock down all of these towers and these keeps and these forts and get that much closer to the enemy core and actually winning the game. Another thing that makes Heroes different is that there's no last hitting. So if you played other MOBAs, you'll know what I'm talking about. Usually the way it works is you want to be killing these minions because the minions will grant you gold and experience. That's not the case with Heroes of the Storm. There's no gold in the game, there's only experience. And second of all, in other MOBAs, you only get credit for the minion kill if you get the last hit on it. In other words, if you deal the killing blow to it. Which meant that the first few minutes of other MOBA genres or other MOBA games are usually spent with everyone kind of just sitting in their lane, attacking minions, trying to make sure that they get the killing blow on it, like I just did there. In Heroes, it doesn't matter. As long as you're near enemy minions when they die, you will get the experience for it. And also, experience is actually shared across your entire team. So in other MOBA genres, everyone has their own gold count and they have their own levels. So it's entirely possible for someone on a team to be, say, level 10 and one of their teammates to be only level 8. That's not true in Heroes of the Storm. Right now, you can see the level up here. Everyone on the blue team is level 7 and everyone on the red team is level 6. You can see that the blue team just leveled up. That means that every single member of the blue team is now level 8. So making sure that you're at least near the minions when they die and gaining experience is extremely important for your team, because you obviously want to be a higher level than your opponent. When you get higher levels, you unlock more health, you gain just more base stats, and sometimes you will get what's called a talent. These talents are usually just kind of augmentations to the abilities that you already have. So, for example, Tassadar, he gets a talent that can reduce the cooldowns of some of his abilities, that can increase the damage that he does. Usually it's something like that. Once you get to level 10, however, you get a talent that unlocks what's called your heroic ability, which is kind of like your ultimate from other games. It's your super skill that is far more powerful than all your other skills and is usually on a far longer cooldown. So the beginning of the game in Heroes of the Storm is usually a race to see which team can get to level 10 first, because of course once one member of a team is level 10, everyone is level 10, and someone who is level 10 is far more effective than a level 9 character, because they do have their heroic abilities. So those are the big things that make Heroes of the Storm different from other MOBAs. Also, Heroes of the Storm games are generally meant to last about 20 minutes, whereas other MOBA games usually last around 40 minutes each. So a little background about myself might be in order here. I did play League of Legends a long time ago. I'm going to get the hipster credit here, but I seriously did play, I'd say around, I think it was 2010, 2011. It was reasonably popular then, but certainly nowhere as popular as it is now. It wasn't the, big game always dominating the viewership numbers on Twitch with, millions and millions of registered users. It definitely wasn't, a barren wasteland or brand new, but again, not nearly as big as it was before. And it used to be, my main game. I used to play it a lot. I used to play it all day with my friends. And the reason that I stopped, among those reasons, was not really anything that Riot specifically did, the makers of League of Legends. It was actually things that I thought were just part of the genre, which were that, the games lasted 40 minutes, and that meant that if you didn't like your teammates, if they turned out to be a bunch of jerks, you would be stuck with them for what felt like forever. You can't just leave a game in this genre, because that means that it will essentially be 4 people versus 5 people, and it wouldn't be fair for anyone. And games will always implement some kind of punishment system if you ditch games too often, just to ensure that people always, or at least almost always, have a fair and fun match. Because obviously it wouldn't be fun for anyone if every single game was just, 4v5 or 3v5, people always leaving and getting mad, etc. So when I was playing League of Legends, so if I hit that queue up button, I would have to be mentally prepared to get stuck with potentially 4 jerks for 40 minutes. And also the game did get kind of a little stale, where it was just the same thing every time, especially for the first few minutes. It was just last-hitting minions trying to get as much gold and experience as possible, and the first 10 minutes or so of League of Legends can usually be very boring. However, Heroes of the Storm, because they do it differently, have actually solved all of those problems for me. The fact that each game is designed to last only 20 minutes is a huge deal for me, because that means that if my teammates are a bunch of jerks, I'm only stuck with them for a much shorter time than if I were in League of Legends. The fact that there's different maps, all with fun objectives to capture, really means a lot to me. The fact that oh my goodness, train of thought. I'm just kind of watching the game here. The fact that there's different maps and it varies up the gameplay really means a lot to me. The fact that you don't have to be trying to last hit, because you just have to be near the creeps when they die, is important. I mean, in my opinion, has made the game far more enjoyable than other MOBA genres. I did try Dota 2 for a while, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I was hoping to. But once I started playing Heroes of the Storm, I just never really wanted to stop. It's been a total blast for me. And that's why I'm going to start making videos about this game. I'm going to start a new show every Friday. The reason is, the videos I put on this channel are of games that I really enjoy playing. That's kind of the point. And when I play games, I usually find out everything I can. I usually kind of just get completely soaked into them, and I just kind of find all the information I possibly can, which is why I think I make decent videos about games, because I usually find all the trivia, all the things that the average person probably doesn't know, and then I can kind of just dump it out in video format for everyone to enjoy. And Heroes of the Storm is certainly no different. So I'm going to be making videos about this game, and they're going to be coming out every Friday. It's going to be called Should I Buy, and then ... My plan is I'm going to play a hero, basically for the entire week, and then I'm going to make a video based on that hero, talking about what they are, kind of a little bit of a guide. How much fun are they? Are they worth your money? Because you get gold in this game very slowly, and it's very hard to actually unlock a hero, especially the more expensive ones, and you either have that option or the option of paying real money. And of course, one hero on their own isn't really that big of a deal. Even the most expensive one is $10, but if you buy a hero and then find out it just really isn't for you, then $10 wasted is certainly nothing to sniff at. So the whole point of the series is I'm going to be playing a hero the entire week, kind of trying out all the different options available to them, seeing how much fun they are, and kind of give a recommendation to the viewer whether it's worth their hard-earned gold or their hard-earned cash. So anyway, that's the plan with the channel. I hope that you will enjoy it. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video where I kind of just talked about Heroes of the Storm in and of itself and what I enjoy about it and why it's going to be coming to the channel. My name has been Limbic. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. I'll go ahead and let the replay here roll out just in case you were curious of how the game ended. Imagine how awkward it must be for two heroes who are in the lore friends with each other, like Tassadar and Zeratul, and then here they end up having to kill each other like that. Do you think like they see each other later and they're like, hey, you know, sorry about that.